This is part 2 of the Renpho AI Powered Bike review, and in today's video we're going to look at the software. So the Renpho app is called AI Gym and it's 100% free to use, and there is no monthly membership fee and no fees whatsoever. So let's open that up. Renpho. So this app works with Bluetooth, so make sure you have your Bluetooth on for the app to work. And right away it finds it and connects up immediately. So here on the home page, it gives you like a little welcome and you can kind of scroll through the home page. But what we want to do here is click on over here to Discovery, and it shows us a few different course types here. So we have a power course selection where there is beginner, fat burning, endurance, and muscle strength. And then if we tab over to video course here, we can see there are a variety of courses you can choose from, which, you know, they're all free. So there is like a HIIT training course here, it's 16 minutes and 55 seconds, estimated 97 calories. So it kind of gives you what to expect there. So this one is like 4 lightnings out of 5 in terms of difficulty. Time is 22 minutes and 9 seconds. Energy consumption is estimated to be about 144 calories. As you can see here, it kind of gives you like a little course plan. So it shows you, what to expect over time, what your resistance is going to be as you move along through the course. And that scale is 0 to 40. So you can see in this course around the 5-minute mark or so, we would be hitting about a 35 resistance. And this particular example is a cardiopulmonary strength training class. Hopping on back over here, we can take a look through some of the other courses. Like there is endurance training, strength training, speed endurance training, fat burning cardio workout. That's a 37-minute and 25-second class. Estimated calories 255. They also have some short ones here like rally riding. It's only like a 3-minute 50-second ride. Rhythmic riding, hillside. Let's check out the hillside, see what that's all about. So difficulty is listed at 2 out of 5 stars, only 5 minutes and 23 seconds. So this is a quick workout. Again, we can see the course plan here. So yeah, it kind of shows you your resistance levels as you're going to be adjusting them. So it looks like, yeah, hill climb, we'd be going up a hill here, hit about 35 resistance, and then take it easy for a little bit, climb another hill, go back down, climb another hill. So just like a real quick hit hill ride session here. So if you don't have like a lot of time, you could pop in and just get a good, quick, high intensity workout. Back over here in the Discovery, there are more classes, and this is about all they have listed right now. I'm sure they will be adding to this as time goes on. This is a relatively new app. So we looked at power course, video course, and then we'll go over to riding challenge. So these are like the outdoor rides, and we'll take a look at those here in just a little bit. But they have one here in Italy, the Alps challenge. Looks like that's a relatively difficult one there with 5 lightnings out of 5. California, oh, that might be nice. Another California one. Romantic Paris in France, how about that? 2 out of 5, so maybe an easier ride there. We got the Alps Wonderland, France, a Washington ride. So it looks like some of these challenges down here, you follow a set route, kind of like through like a Google Maps kind of outline of a particular route in a city. So we'll check those out in just a minute, but let's tab back over to Power Course real quick, and let's just take a look at fat burning, for example. So in the fat burning section, it looks like there are quite a few different rides, like 20-minute rides, 30-minute rides, pyramid rides, 30-minute cycle burning, 45-minute continuous fat burning. So kind of like a steady state 45-minute ride, it looks like. And down here at the bottom of the list, it looks like there's a 30-minute VO2 ride. We'll tab back over here and take a look at just some of the other ones. Like we'll check out muscle strength, for example. So more rides listed here. 30-minute accelerating rhythm, that is 4 lightnings out of 5, 202 estimated calories. So yeah, and down here 15-minute strength sprint challenge. So 5 out of 5 lightnings on that one. Seems like it'd be pretty difficult. So let's go ahead and check out what this 15-minute strength sprint challenge is all about here. So we'll just click on that and pull it up here, 5 out of 5. It kind of gives you like a little intro here and tells you kind of the science maybe behind, lactic acid and fatigue may accumulate fast during the process. So might not be a good beginner course, but here it kind of gives you like a course layout here of your FTP zones you're going to be riding in. So you got to do the FTP test before you do this. I'll show you more about that here in just a moment. But it looks like you kind of start out at about 50% of your FTP, and then you kind of work your way into some intervals here, like 30-second intervals where you spend some time at 60%, 65, 70, 75% of your FTP. And then you kind of really work up and start hitting some pretty difficult intervals here. So down here you can see we're hitting 15 seconds of 145% of your FTP. Then you kind of take a break there for 30 seconds, drop down to 55%. And yeah, so I mean, this looks like a pretty difficult, strenuous FTP based workout here. So let's go ahead and tap the go button here on this one, take a look at what it's all about here. So we can rotate this screen on over this way. And right away here, it gives us a nice little intro telling us, you know, what cadence is, you know, just how fast the pedals are turning and what your power output is. And yeah, constant power mode. Right here it shows the training phase. So the intensity of the workout is indicated by the color and height of the block. So blue indicates you're in the fat burning zone, and other colors must indicate other things. All right, so I got to get on here and start writing. So it does let you pause if you want. So we'll go ahead and continue with the course here. So as I'm writing here, it's not allowing me to adjust this in this particular class. It's automatically varying the resistance for me. So you can see those numbers kind of hopping around a little bit. It's changing the resistance for me slightly just as we move along. And up here on the screen, it shows my cadence over there and like the zones it was talking about. So if I go faster, you can see that blue bar hops up. It also shows my power output there and what percentage of my FTP I'm riding at. And so now we moved on to the next portion of this ride where it's putting us in the anaerobic endurance zone. So it's basically changing our power zones a little bit. And what it's doing now is basically moving that resistance number just a little bit higher than where we were at before. And now after spending a little bit of time in that anaerobic zone, it bumped us down to the warm-up / recovery zone, bumped the resistance down a little bit. So we get a little break here. It shows up on the screen there, just like a 30-second break down to 19 seconds left. Oh, now it bumped us up to physical critical zone. So this is like resistance 25. Suddenly resistance got way more difficult. It's telling me I gotta ride harder. Okay, now we are back into a warm-up / recovery portion. So yeah, it just had us do like a quick, real hard blast there, which I didn't really meet their requirements. It was telling me that I should be riding harder, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example. Okay, so now it has another, oh, here we go. Anaerobic endurance zone. So it's asking for another hard push here. The resistance kicked back up again. So yeah, it's basically just kind of like cycling on and off some more difficult and less difficult intervals here. And you know, it kind of just gives you some sort of guidance in your training. Oh gosh, and now we're in the extreme sprint zone. You can see it's indicated by the red. And now it just backed off back into recovery zone. So this is definitely like some sort of like high intensity interval training going on here for sure. Okay, we got a little countdown. It's gonna give us another zone here. Yep, back in the red, extreme sprint zone. So and then it just backs it off for you automatically. And if you stop pedaling, it'll give you some warnings. Power is low, come on. So, you know, it's not gonna let you take it easy without yelling at you. And we are supposed to be back in another extreme sprint zone, but I'm not riding right now because I wanna be able to show you guys a little more clearly. 5 seconds later, warm up recovery zone. So 5 more seconds, and then it backs off the resistance again. So I could definitely see like the benefits of this, like as a training tool, you know, because it gives you your cadence, your power and watts right there, what percentage of FTP you are at or should be at riding. But first you have to do your little FTP test before you can get that data, which I'll show you that now. Oh, and one other thing about this app is you can just kind of press pause and pause it. So you don't have to like keep doing the entire class. I'll show you what happens if you end one early. So it does that. It gives me a sad face. Goal not achieved. Okay, so here's my sad face. It gives me some basic stats here, riding distance, workout time, and total calories burned. You can click that button to check more details here. So it shows, yeah, just the same stuff here. And I surpassed 62% of total players. Tried to make it better. Completion, okay. Overall score, 53. Intensity completion, 46%. So this data here is kind of cool. It shows you your power output distributed over the time of the class. It has a little max up there showing where my maximum power was exerted, and that was 170 watts. Average power, 57 watts. Interval distribution, so that's kind of neat. Shows you all of your zones kind of broken down there. So this is like the power zones, basically. Spent 4 minutes in zone 1. 2 minutes and 44 seconds in zone 2, and not much time in zone 5 or 6, which that's how cycling works. You cannot maintain above your zone 3, zone 4 area. Also scrolling down, it gives us our cadence distributed in a nice little graph here over time. So beautiful display there, shows a max up here where the max cadence was of 109, and it also shows an interval distribution for cadence as well. So we'll back out of this exercise report, go back here towards the main screen. So as I was mentioning before, I already did this FTP test thing like last week or something, but you can redo the FTP test anytime you want. It's basically just like a fitness assessment to see where you're at and kind of define your riding zone. So let's go ahead and check it out here. Currently, this is what we are at. And when you click that screen, it kind of just gives you a little basic rundown about what FTP is. And then if you want to do the test, you click on the exercisability test button here. And it does give you some warnings because the FTP test can be pretty strenuous. So you have to agree to that. Tests last 10 to 15 minutes. So the way Renpho does your FTP test is not like a traditional all-out effort. They kind of like vary your resistance and give you some cues and stuff to test your FTP. So here, right away you can see it's saying I'm failing to meet the requirement, and the test is gonna end if I don't meet that requirement. So my FTP test would be determined to be really low. Yeah, so right there. So right here, it just automatically just threw me at a FTP of 100 because I did not meet the requirements. But anyway, let's do it again here. Get to know cycling. So I'm on the bike, start, let's go. So now I can meet the requirements here. So I'm in the FTP test here, and what it's telling me to do is keep a 65 watt power output for 1 minute. So one of the big challenges of doing a FTP test the traditional way is you don't know how hard to push yourself, because basically it's an all-out max effort for 20 minutes. And if you go too hard in the beginning, you'll burn out and you won't even be able to complete the test. So here we're moving on into phase 1. So now, yeah, it wants me to maintain a power output of 78 for another minute, and they're gonna kind of tally that up. I'm trying to maintain my output right around what they're asking for. And essentially, this is like a guidance. It really kind of just coaches you through how to do the FTP test. So if you're at like a beginner level of cycling in general, this could be like an effective tool here to kind of coach you through. So like I mentioned, in this FTP test, you cannot change your resistance by using this dial. It's just like modifying it for you and kind of testing your limits. And now we're getting a little bit more deeper into the test here. It's calling for power output over 100. Roughly, I'm at power output 105 and have quite a few more minutes of this. So one thing I'm noticing about this test that's actually pretty neat is it's modifying this resistance to match my cadence. So if I pick up my cadence, it'll reduce the resistance to help me stay in the recommended power zone. So it wants me to be at 130 right now. So if I pedal fast, it'll have the resistance a little bit lower to let me stay at the recommended power. But if I slow my pedaling down, watch, it cranks up the resistance to help me stay at the recommended power. So, oh man, I'm failing. Gotta get it back up. Okay, so now I'm moving my legs faster and it dropped the resistance back down. So basically, yeah, your power output is a multiplication of your cadence multiplied by resistance. So that's actually like really good incentive to like keep the test going. Now it's asking me to do 156 power output, which is like actually pretty difficult. Yeah, so it's asking me to maintain 156 watts for a minute. And that's actually a pretty high power output. I'm getting a little bit out of breath, honestly, trying to do this and do an FTP test and talk you guys through what's going on. So now it's asking for 183. So yeah, if you want to meet that requirement, you got to keep them pedals going. Whew. Okay, I think I'm gonna fail this test real quick because I'm not gonna do this whole thing. So here's what happens if you fail. They give you a few seconds to meet the requirement, but if you don't, junior level. Nice. So it's saying that my cycling power is around 130. Now from doing other tests like on the Peloton Bike Plus, I know my FTP is around 190. So, you know, if I would have completed this whole test, it probably would have given me about 190. Okay, so now let's move on to an example of a video course. So we'll go over here and just check out, there's a lot of them like I was just showing you before. We'll go ahead and check out this mountain one I just saw. So yeah, we'll choose mountain. And it kind of just gives you, you know, that same intro stuff. Shows basically like what the plan is going to look like here, how much resistance we're shooting for over time, and where the rest periods are. And you download the course. So you don't have to worry about streaming it. You just download it and you know you're not going to have any connection problems. So it looks like it is a 215 megabyte download. It's downloading pretty quick here on my Wi-Fi in my home. And now that it's downloaded, press go. And here's what you get. So basically all of the courses look like this, where they have one instructor in the middle and two on the sides.
Stay strong, stay strong. One more push, a little more resistance. 4, 3.
So again, you do get that ability to pause it in case you have other stuff going on, you need to pause for some reason. And she does give you some basic instruction. You also get some basic music in the background. Gives you all of your resistance is changing for you automatically. So this is your resistance number in terms of Newton meters. And it also has your cadence right here and kind of like what zone you're riding in, your power output, total calories. Up here you can see the time remaining in the class, and also that little bar graph there shows you what resistance is coming. So you can see we're on a low resistance of 4 right now, and it's gonna pop up here to a hard resistance here very, very soon. Should be coming any moment. 18, there we go. So now we are riding up the mountain. So yeah, she gives you instruction and kind of just coaches you through the ride, and you can see what's coming in the class. Again, these classes are 100% free, so you do not need to pay for any of this. So we'll do a long press to stop this class, and we'll go ahead and end, confirm, and continue our tour here. Next up here, we will tap on the riding challenge section over here, and as I showed you before, there are like these outdoor rides. So let's go ahead and just check out this very first one here. Difficulty of 5, don't plan on actually doing it, but it does show us, you know, like elevation. Looks like this is a pretty serious hill climb going on in this ride. Go ahead and click the download button here. 325 megabyte download. So the benefits of downloading is, you know, like I said, you don't have to worry about any sort of connection lag issues. The other side of the coin is if you download too many of these, it might start to fill up your device. So maybe you should go back and delete them after a while. Go. All right, here we go. Okay, so on these, you have to pedal for your guy to actually move along the course. So I'm pedaling like really slow right now and he's going in like slow motion. But if I pick up the pace here, he also picks up the pace. So it kind of like incentivizes you here to actually like ride faster and keep your character moving through the space here. Shows you your miles per hour. I actually have it listed in kilometers per hour, but you can change it over to miles per hour, and it shows you your power output, your time. Let's catch up to this guy real quick. Man, this is like making me want to ride faster and pass these people. So on these style rides, you get gears. So you see there it says gear, and the whole like resistance numbering system here is kind of changed. So you have gear 1 through 8. So yeah, 8 is max resistance, and you can drop it down to gear 1 for minimum. So in terms of the way that resistance works, it's the exact same thing. It just changes like the numbering system, but if you crank it up to 8, yeah, the resistance still comes on in the same exact way as that 40 Newton meters. So kind of just moving along here, it looks, you know, kind of similar to like what you see in Zwift, but you know, this is just like the Renpho variation kind of. On this portion of the app, you can tap over here on the music, and you can choose to turn background music on or off, and you can also adjust that. So, you know, it's kind of just like generic music, so whether you want to listen to it or not is completely optional. So there's one other thing I want to show you, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one. It'll give us our same, oh, sad face again, did not achieve my goal. Let's check for details. So yeah, it just gives us all of our stats and stuff in the exact same way. Pretty neat. Okay, so one of the last things I want to show you here is these riding challenges down here that are like a map style. So let's go ahead and choose this Germany one. So this is basically just like a route. They tell you about it here in the route info. Shows there's some elevation gain, also some elevation decline. Oh, hey buddy, I think I recognize you. I think that I might have to give you a little friendly challenge on this ride. Anyway, let's go ahead and just press go here and check it out. All right, so here it just gives us a little blip on the map here, and it shows everybody else is beating me. Let's press go, be ready to go, ready to start. And we're off to the races here. So I am in 4th place already. Not doing so good. I can crank up my gear though, add on a little bit of resistance, and yeah, so you just kind of move along this map here, and you gotta like chase down these people, and it kind of shows you how far you are behind people. Let's see if I can pass this one real quick. Oh man. So yeah, we're climbing a hill now. This is hard. 7 seconds behind the number 1, so that's kind of cool. It shows, you know, like how you're doing in relation to other people. So let's stop here, take a look. Yeah, zoom in, you can see that somebody's catching me and passing me. I am falling behind the leader here. So kind of neat, really. It's kind of like a little race. So honestly, this is kind of really neat for the competitive side of people. So, you know, if you're kind of a competitive person, I know I am, because like I'm like ready to get back on this bike. Like I want to set this camera down and get on here and try and get first place, or, you know, just see how I can do. So yeah, this is kind of cool. Anyway though, let's go ahead and just end this, because this is just an example here of how everything works. Oh, another sad face. Oh. So yes, I did get the sad face, but it does show you, you know, how many calories you burned, your distance, your workout time, all that stuff. Like I said, you know, I have everything in kilometers right now. I just need to change it over to miles. Zones, everything, real neat exercise report here. It also keeps track of like your total workout time, total mileage, total workouts, total calories burned over time. So that's kind of neat, you know, so you can kind of track your progress over time. And like I was saying, the distance thing, I just had them in kilometers. I'll put it to miles. Save that. So that is a basic rundown of the AI Gym app on the Renpho AI Powered bike. You know, I actually do feel like the app that comes on this bike is actually kind of versatile and really kind of engaging and unique. And don't forget that app is 100% free, so you don't need to pay for that app. So, you know, if you buy the Renpho bike, you can use that app for free. In general, I do think the AI Gym app is kind of neat, especially for like a beginner, you know, somebody who doesn't want to pay for any sort of recurring monthly fees, but you do want some basic access to like some instructor-led classes and all the stuff I just showed you. Also, some of the features on that app do kind of like pull you in and kind of like bring out the competitive side of you, you know, to kind of compete in some of that stuff I just showed you. And if you did miss the first part of my RENPHO bike review, I will put a link to that down below this video in the description box, and also you can find it on my channel. Also, I do have a link to buy this bike below this video in the description box, and if you do buy through that link, it would help support this channel and I would greatly appreciate your support. Also, there is a $100 discount down below the video. And as always, I'm not trying to convince you to buy the RENPHO bike. I'm just saying if you're gonna buy it anyway and you would like to help support the channel, you can do so by buying through the link below. If this video has been beneficial to you at all, please give me a thumbs up. Any questions or comments, please leave down below the video in the comment section. Click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in my next video.